Baseball's two best teams play for first place tonight in the NL Central. It's the Cubs and Brewers. We're going to break it down and come up with a winning bet right now. Good buddy, welcome back to The Hustle, and if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to the jungle. If you could do me a quick favor, and if you enjoy the content that I put out there, just comment the word yes in the comment section of the video. It goes a long way in helping our community grow. I apologize for the ghastly appearance. I got a little bit of sunblock on my eye just a wee bit ago. Me was out on a boat enjoying a good fish, and the sunscreen just dripped on a little bit into my eye. So a little bit ghastly appearance, but the best changed nothing. So we're going to take a look at the Cubs Brewers in a couple different angles, and we're going to start with the offense. Now, it's a huge advantage here for me offensively with the Cubs' power. They've hit over 60 more home runs than the Brewers this season, and that could change the game with the swing of a bat. The problem for Chicago, however, is they're very right-handed dominant for the most part. They do have good lefties in Crow Armstrong and Kyle Tucker, but most of their lineup is right-handers, and righties are batting under 190 against Jacob Misiorowski, the Brewers' starting pitcher. But there's a worry with the limitation with Misiorowski's pitch count. They haven't allowed him to go really more than 5 innings, but more than once. And they've put out there publicly, the Brewers have, that they're going to really control his workload and save him in his heavy workload, the heftiness for the playoffs. So I think Misiorowski probably goes just 5 innings. Remember last game, they took him out a little bit prematurely, and that upset a lot of people who were looking for his overouts and strikeout props. But nonetheless, I think the advantage here, because of the power, goes to the Cubs. Looking at starting pitching, we have the aforementioned Jacob Misiorowski of the Brewers, the rookie phenom, throws electric fastballs, 102. He's hit 103 this season in the pros, throws a really good slider. Control has been a bit of a problem. The Cubs don't strike out much, so I think that might put Misiorowski on his toes a little bit and force the walks more than he's used to. Now, he has faced good lineups. He faced the Dodgers and struck them out 12 times. But I think the Cubs are a little bit different. The Dodgers do strike out a lot more than the Cubs do. On Chicago's side of things, Matthew Boyd, the veteran left-hander, has been absolutely lights out. And in my opinion, the best story starting pitching-wise this season in Major League Baseball. He has not allowed one single earned run in his last 3 starts. He's going to be tough today, and the Cubs need him to go at least probably 6 innings because their bullpen is very taxed. They had a tough series against the White Sox over the weekend, and they used a lot of bullpen innings. So they're going to need Boyd to go 6, maybe 7 innings if he's able to. I do think the starting pitching advantage, because of the veteran presence, because Boyd's been in games like this before, and because Misiorowski is limited pitch count-wise, I think the advantage here goes to Matthew Boyd and the Cubs. So far, we've got advantage Cubs offensively because of the power, and advantage Cubs, Matthew Boyd starting pitching. Now, looking at current form, the Brewers are 6-3 since the All-Star break. The Cubs 5-4. I want to look at the bullpens, though, and that to me is what tips the scales. The Cubs bullpen, as I mentioned, is taxed, and they're without a few arms. They're injury-ridden as well. The Brewers have one of the best bullpens in baseball. And although Misiorowski will come out after probably 5 innings, he turns over to a bullpen that's very, very good. There's a big edge, in my opinion, current form-wise, because of the injuries and the taxedness of the Cubs and the freshness. The Brewers' arms are rested. Their high-leverage arms are available. I think there's a big edge to Milwaukee here. Now, I think it's going to be a close game, and although the Cubs might hit a home run or two, the Brewers steal a lot of bases, and they can manufacture runs. I think they'll find 1 or 2 off of Boyd and maybe 2 or 3 off of that taxed Cubs bullpen. And when it's a close game like that, and you see the over-under 7.5, and the line's very close, it's close to even money, the books are expecting a close game, I'm expecting a close game. It should be a very well-contested game to the end. And although I mentioned that the Cubs have the advantage offensively because of the power and starting pitching with Boyd, what tips these close games in the end is the bullpens. And as I mentioned, Milwaukee has a huge advantage. Also, the home field matters. These two teams both are way better at home than they are on the road. I like the Milwaukee Brewers as the home underdog in this game. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you tomorrow with a little more money in your pocket.